Scottails, oh. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Scottails. My name is Scott Hostetler. Today's subject is Scotch. Scotch and water, Scotch and soda, butterscotch. What do you do with Scotch? Well, Scotch can prove to be challenging in the cocktail context. One trick is to match its character with a complementary spirit, and that's what we're going to do today with the Godfather and Cameron's Kick. Now, Cameron's Kick is a classic recipe from Harry McElhone's ABCs of Making Cocktails book in 1922. It also appears in the Savoy Hotels cocktail book from the 1930s. Now, it pairs two whiskeys from Scotland and Ireland. Now, people have asked why the two different spellings. Why is one K-E-Y and the other just K-Y? Well, if it's K-E-Y, generally it is from the United States or Ireland. If it's K-Y, it's from Scotland, Canada, or Japan. Now, there's no law or rule mandating this. It just happens to be the preference of the distillers. Although Maker's Mark from Kentucky uses the KY because that's the way it was written on their old family recipe with a KY. Perhaps also they're from Kentucky and KY is the abbreviation from Kentucky. Yeah, I don't know either. Now, the name Cameron's Kick comes from legend. It's hard to nail down, but legend claims that a large Cameron clan in Scotland was forced to exile after the Battle of Inverlochy in 1431. Cameron's kicked out. They went to Ireland, and then they combined the two whiskeys. I don't know if that's true, but I'm glad they did. Let's do the Cameron's Kick. We are going to start with 1 ounce of Scotch. We are using a Johnnie Walker Red Label Scotch. It's a blended Scotch whiskey. For cocktails, you want to use blended instead of single malt because those are not stronger, but they have more peaty and more smokiness. And in cocktails, you want them to be a little more subtle. So we're going with 1 ounce of the Johnnie Walker Red. Then we're going to go with 1 ounce of the Jameson's Triple Distilled. Now, both these are 40% alcohol, which means they're 80 proof. And we're going to use 1 ounce of this. You know, Ireland's capital is the fastest growing city because every year it's Dublin. Aww. 1 ounce of 1 ounce. Then we're going to add, don't stop me now, 3/4 ounces of fresh squeezed lemon juice in a clear jar. Some people have said, Scott, how do I know that's really lemon juice? So anyway, 3/4 ounces, and that's for some of my fans. Then we're going to use something I've never used before, Orza Syrup. Now, this is probably the first compound sugar made for cocktails. It showed up in the Bartender's Guide in 1862, right in the middle of the Civil War. It is almond flavored, and now making it is, I make my own syrups when I can. I've made simple syrup, honey syrup, spicy tangerine syrup, blackberry, mint. I've even made grenadine. But all the experts say, this is almond. You should just leave it to the professionals and buy it from the store. So that's what we've done. We're going to go with 3/4 ounces. It's a little bit thick. 3/4 ounce. And it's, if you want to get it, it is O-R-G-E-A-T. It's pronounced Orza. So we're going to shake with our freshly washed ice. And, oh, I already used my joke, so here we go. Shake for about, they say, 10 to 15 seconds. 17, 18, 19, 20. Then It has a lovely almond color. Garnish with a lemon peel. And away we go. This is the Cameron's Kick.
Yes!
Woo! Boy, that does have a kick. No, actually, it's very nice. It's got the a little bit of smokiness from the Scotch, and it's the perfect summer Scottail for Irish whiskey lovers or Scotch lovers. What do you get when you cross a mob boss with an economist? You get an offer you can't understand. Speaking of Marlon Brando, The Godfather, it got its name, allegedly, from the 1970s when Marlon Brando was doing the Godfather movies, and he loved this drink. It's a simple drink, and I think you'll agree it's awfully tasty. We start off with 2 ounces of Scotch, which is the Johnnie Walker Red Scotch. 1, 2. You know, I used to be a bartender for the mob. It was a whiskey business. And it uses 1 ounce of amaretto. Amaretto is from Italy. We're using Lazzaroni amaretto, which is a old-time recipe, old-time, still family-owned, and it tastes like cherries. I didn't do a lot of research. Anyway. So, we have that in there. We give it a stir. I'll stir this properly. Then we pour the concoction into a glass with a big ice cube in it. So you enjoy the liquor, but not the watered down version of the ice. Then you garnish with 2 cherries. And they sink right to the bottom. Shall we give this a try? The Godfather.
Yes!
Wow, you've got of course the Scotch, but the amaretto, really, it's nice, it's smooth, it's really, really delightful, and you get to eat those cherries at the end. You know, a mob boss got himself a deaf accountant. He thought that'd be safer. Well, sooner or later, there was money missing. And the accountant, everything pointed to this deaf accountant. So he and the lawyer got the accountant up against the wall in the office, put the lights on him, and he had his lawyer there because his lawyer could read sign language. And he said to the lawyer, ask him where the money is. So the lawyer looks at the accountant and he says, the boss wants to know where the money is. And the accountant looked at him and says, I don't know anything about any money. And the lawyer turns to the boss and says, he says he doesn't know nothing about the money. Well, the mob boss got angry. He says, listen, I know he took the money, and I know he's going to give it back to me, so tell him, where is it? So the lawyer says, he knows you took the money, and he knows you're going to give it back. Where is it? The accountant looks at him and signs, I don't know anything about any money. Sorry. Well, he turned to the boss, says, boss, he says he don't know about no money. Well, the boss just goes crazy. He says, listen, he pulls out his gun, puts it right against his head and says, you tell him. If he doesn't tell me where that money is right now, I'm going to blow his brains out. The lawyer says, the boss says, if you don't tell him where the money is, he's going to blow your brains out. The accountant says, don't shoot, don't shoot. It's buried at my backyard at 1514 Jerry Lane. It's under the apple tree. The boss says, what'd the guy say? The lawyer says he don't think you got the guts to shoot. That's a good one. Anyway, cheers to everybody. The Godfather, the Cameron's kick, and remember to drink up because it's almost closing time somewhere.